And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth, centered around 80 different categories of business and finance, estate, and tax planning. So many different ways that we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our goal is to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we want you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Save that number because at some point you're going to need it. You know, a lot of good ideas are going to be floating around on this show. The next hour we're going to spend with you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and it's all about making you more street smart. Make sure you save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And make sure you bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, their contact information, their websites. You can also see previous shows. You can submit an email form, and that email form is going to get you in touch with myself and James, our producer. We're going to make sure we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. And consumerqb.com is a plethora of information, and we would urge you to check it out. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio, and today making her debut on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Dr. Lisa Barker, Director of Medical Services, Gulfside Healthcare Services. Welcome in.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Hey, my pleasure. Give us a little sample of what we're going to talk about today.
Well, one of the things we want to discuss today is about the services that are offered by Gulfside Healthcare. And we want to make some information out there and give some definitions and descriptions about what palliative care is versus what hospice care is.
I like that. Yeah, let's break it down for them. And if you're our listening audience, you remember we had Linda Ward on the show just a week or two ago. She did a great job as well, explaining some of the misconceptions out there, some of the misnomers around Gulfside Healthcare Services and what they offer. All right, we got Chuck Peterson in the house, Suncoast Roofing. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be back in Tampa Bay and our beautiful, lovely, non-raining day today. It's great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We needed a break.
We did indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So, give us an overview today? Maybe we could run a rundown on different types of roofing.
Well, we're going to talk about some solar stuff today.
Nice. Okay, you got the solar side of
Suncoast Roofing and Solar,
and it's all built into the panels.
Yes, it is.
Very cool.
Right on the roof.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yep.
Solar's come a long way over the last 5-10 years, hasn't it?
Yep, advancing pretty quickly.
Really has.
Yep.
Suncoast Roofing, longtime friends of the program. Chuck Peterson's in the house. Also, Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you so much. Great to be here, as always.
Yeah, man. So today, water, what a misunderstood area as well. Another place that we could use a lot of consumer advocacy around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the world we live in right now that we have to be aware of some of the problems we have.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's only going to get more challenging, as far as the amount of people moving to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
There's already a challenge with resources. What are we looking at 5-10 years from now? That's what kind of makes me think about, this area, especially when it comes to clean air, clean water,
Exactly.
Utilities, those types of services. So Fred's going to talk to you today about how he can help you enhance your home's water system and have, fresh, great tasting drinking water. And a lot of our expert contributors, I can tell you, from firsthand experience, I've actually worked with Fred, and he does a great job of, the whole process of installing these different systems into your property, into your home. So waterscience.us is here in studio with us today. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill Restaurant. They've got a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, and also banquets. Home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. And the food is great. It's located right on Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. Online at luckydilldeli.com. They've got a great location in Palm Harbor that I like to visit also. right off of US 19. It's on the west side of 19 there, US 19 north, just north of Tampa Road. Great ambiance, excellent food, and a very friendly staff at the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, I want to let you know about one quick listing here that we listed, and this property, it is on the beach, Clearwater Beach, Mandalay on Clearwater Beach. Great opportunity to own if you've ever wanted to have that beach home right on the beach. You're a couple doors down from Hulk Hogan over here, and you got a bunch of celebrities living in this community. 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Could be a 3rd bedroom in the bath, but in the back there, but we can't technically count it because it is air conditioned space, but it doesn't have a window. But 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. 200 steps, and you are on the sugar sands of beautiful Clearwater Beach. Great place to live, work, and play. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. Dr. Linda Baker, Director of Medical Services at Gulfside Healthcare Services, and a lot of misnomers when it comes to the situation where that your services that you offer. In the past, we talked about one of the myths regarding that is this doesn't necessarily signify the end. It's just there's a lot of different ways you can help them. So let's start with your palliative care. Let's maybe give our listeners an insight on that.
Sure. Gulfside has 3 different service lines. We have home health, which most consumers are fairly familiar with, palliative care, which I find most people don't know what services it offers, and also our hospice service lines, and we'll talk a bit about some of the myths regarding hospice care. But I wanted to start off by giving some definitions about palliative care. So I think I have a slide that you could put up.
Perfect.
So
Thanks,
this
Rob.
is a great definition of palliative care from getpalliative.org, stating that palliative care is specialized medical care for people with serious illnesses, and it focuses on providing patients with relief of symptoms, including pain and the stress of a serious illness, whatever the diagnosis is. So the goal of palliative care is to improve quality of life for both the patient and the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another slide with another definition, that says palliative care focuses primarily on anticipating, preventing, diagnosing, and treating symptoms experienced by patients with serious or life-threatening illnesses, and helping patients and their families make medically important decisions. The ultimate goal of palliative care is to improve quality of life for both the patient and the family, regardless of the diagnosis. Although palliative care, unlike hospice care, does not depend on prognosis, as the end of life approaches, the role of palliative care intensifies, and the focus on aggressive symptom management and psychosocial support also intensifies.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. It says a lot there. That's a lot said. And it's about the patient's health, but it's also about the family's health because they're the ones supporting that patient.
Yes, advanced care planning and complex decision making regarding goals of care is one of the things that we really offer and specialize in palliative care, as well as doing symptom management.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, because the family's taking care of, the relative, and they're missing out on their days at the beach or the spa or their kid's soccer game. I mean, they've got to take care of this patient. So Gulfside Healthcare Services can help ease that type of family, dynamic.
I think one of the biggest things we do is really get the discussion started when patients have been diagnosed with a serious life-limiting or life-threatening illness, to get the discussions going about what their wishes are and what their goals of care are. And those are things that often, without the stimulus of a healthcare provider initiating that discussion, that families often shy away from making those decisions and having those discussions with one another.
Oh yeah, it's easier not to. It's just so easier just to gloss it over. Oh, check out the football game or whatever. Yeah, so the myths regarding hospice care, enrolling hospice doesn't necessarily signify the end. Hospice does not hasten death.
Correct. There are still people out there who feel that when you sign on to hospice care, that hospice actually promotes dying and actually hastens the person's death, where that is not the case at all. I tell families all the time, it's not my job to speed things up or slow things down. It's just my job to make sure that things are comfortable for you and that we make the best of every day that you have. That's my role as a hospice physician.
I like that. Yeah, making it comfort. There's nothing more comfortable than being in your home, buying, when you're in this position. I can definitely, understand that. The environment, the comfort of your bed, all the familiar surroundings help minimize a lot of that. Another myth regarding hospice care: hospice stops all the patient's medications.
Correct. One of the things we do very, very early in the process at the time of admission is have discussions with the patient and their family about what their goals of care are.
Right.
And revisit what is going on with the patient at that point in time, what their overall status is, and examine what medications they're taking, and to determine what's best to continue and what may not be in their best interest anymore. And that can have lots of implications for the patient, both health-wise and of course financially. Although another thing that people often don't understand is that once the patient comes onto hospice care, the cost of their medications, as long as it's within the hospice plan of care, is covered by the hospice. So that can be a huge financial relief for families.
Yeah, that's a whole nother side of this thing. Is people probably think, oh, I can't afford that. They don't know until they ask the questions, right? So another misconception or myth regarding hospice care is the team works with the patient to determine what level of symptom management is acceptable.
Correct. Another thing that I hear people say all the time is that we just medicate people to the point that they're unconscious, and in other words, again, hastening their death. But we really work with the patient. If I have a patient who is still driving, golfing, but has a terminal illness, he may tolerate more symptoms or, for instance, more pain as opposed to someone who is nearing the later stages.
Right.
And we work with them to determine a plan of care and work with their personal physicians as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. So later notes here talks about medical directors collaboration with interdisciplinary team to provide comprehensive care for patient and family.
Yeah. Our team includes our patients when they come onto hospice care are assigned, of course, a nurse, a social worker, a chaplain, aides if they need those services to help with personal care. Volunteer services are available, and a nurse practitioner as well as physician oversight.
Yeah.
And, I coordinate with every member of that team on a regular basis to help adjust the plan of care, because as the patient's status changes, often you need to reassess what your goals are.
Yeah.
And try to help with that education process as well.
Yeah, that's important. We're talking with Dr. Barker here, representing the Gulfside Healthcare Services. You've heard Linda Ward on the show. More from our expert contributors here. When we come back, more from our expert contributors, and we also have a feel-good story of the day coming at you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out Gulfside.org for more information about what Dr. Lisa Barker was talking about. She's the Director of Medical Services with Gulfside Healthcare Services. And coming up, we got Chuck Peterson in the house, Fred DeFelice, our expert contributor panel coming up in a lightning round as well, and our feel-good story of the day. Don't miss that. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate negotiations, your business deals. We want to help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to invite you to a veterans event that we've got going on. This is on the September 12th, Thursday, September 12th, coming up just around the corner. Captain Matt Bruce, Attorney Joe Pippin, William Crowley, Diane Vance. We're going to be at the veterans event that we are hosting, and it's the Captain and the Quarterback present a night where we celebrate our nation's heroes and give back to them by offering free advice and information on real estate, finance, insurance, and much more. Catered food provided from Amici's Cater Cuisine. Let anyone know that in your network that is a veteran or a hero, first responder. We want them there at this event. We want to help educate them and just offer them a night where we can help them. September 12th, 6 to 8:30 p.m. It's going to be at the American Legion, Post 5, which is on Kennedy Boulevard. The American Legion right there on Kennedy Boulevard in South Tampa, just east of Del Mabry. Check it out online at eventbrite.com or facebook.com. Just search up Heroes and Veterans and Heroes event coming up here on September 12th. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard in Treasure Island. They've got 2 pools on site, updated amenities, gorgeous property that you can visit. Sloppy Joe's Restaurant and Beach Bar right on site. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Got a hot property listed on Schooner Way in Tampa as a real estate property of the week. This property here, it's gorgeous. Waterfront, 2-story home on a freshwater canal with a boat dock that leads out to the bay. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa, kind of in that town and country, Longboat area, Bayport area community. It's right there. Great opportunity. Check out all of our real estate properties at platinummvpteam.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. And big news is we're moving over to 860 The Answer. 860 The Answer. We're going to be there at 4 o'clock drive time coming up very soon. 860 The Answer, Salem Communications flagship station. So big announcement to our listeners, our viewers out there, our team. Quite an honor to be asked to join the lineup. You got a national show host lineup there of lots of big names. Hugh Hewitt, Michael Medved, all the different folks. Bill Bunkley's local, more regional player. But real excited to be on AM 860 The Answer coming up very soon. All right, let's jump into this. We got Chuck Peterson back in studio, suncoastroofing.com. And what you been up to, man?
Just traveling the west coast of Florida.
Yeah.
Well, been on vacation last week, but other than that. So
yeah, how's the Panhandle looking?
Panhandle looks like it's been covered in rain for the last 5 days.
Oh,
but
man.
It's coming along, but it's slow going up there these days.
Yeah. I was reading an article about the flooding victims have a choice now. It was kind of frontliner here. It says Hurricane Fund lets owners throw in the towel and relocate. So homeowners exhausted by persistent flooding sign up to retire their properties, essentially. Right. Do you know anything about that?
No, we haven't. I hadn't been up there in the last couple of weeks. Now it's just coming out. I know when I was up there last time, they've got a couple funds put together because insurance is not fully covering what most people think it should cover, and so there's a lot of guys up there struggling to get their, not just their roofs but the rest of their houses put back together because insurance money's short. And they had that, and they were talking about trying to buy some properties out that were just continually, they're right there on the water and the water levels are rising, but I hadn't seen that come through. But that's probably a good move on their part and the homeowner's part, really. Trying to go make a life somewhere where you don't have to worry about it every time it rains.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we get some hammering rains up there. I mean, yesterday they got about 2.5 inches in a day.
Yeah.
And it just crushes up the place. It's not built for that.
Yeah. So when you think about Suncoast roofing, you look at different options nowadays. There's, we got the traditional shingle, which is probably most affordable, pretty durable. You've got the metal roofs, more expensive, but a beautiful look, and it lasts a while. You got the tile roofs, somewhere in between there, and cost point wise, but those are heavier. Those are definitely strong, sturdy. And now you got this new type of roof that you're offering.
Well, it's not necessarily the roof, but it's the solar panels to go on your roof. So
okay.
If you can see those panels right on top there, this goes with your shingle roofs. They're putting an application together to put it on the metal and tile, but right now it's a GAF product. Actually, GAF has worked the last 5 years to put together this solar panel. They've just had it Florida product approved the beginning of this year. We've put a few panels on already. I mean, we're shipping them in as we go. We got panels sitting in our warehouse. But basically, as you can see in the picture there, it goes right on the deck.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go above your shingles. It doesn't, you're not poking through the brand new shingles. It doesn't diminish the look of the house. It's flat on the deck. It's basically the height of a skylight. So if you had a skylight on your house, it would look very similar to a skylight. It would just be black.
Very cool.
Very affordable pieces of the puzzle as well. And as we've talked about before, because we're Master Elite contractors, you get a 50-year warranty with your shingles. Well, if you put this solar panel on, when we put the shingles on, GAF covers your solar panels for 25 years, 100%, no question asked warranty in that same program.
Wow.
So, and this year, of course, you get 30% tax credit on your installation and your costing.
Your total cost, right?
Yep. So it's a really, it's a really good product to have that it's just a better version of what's out there now. Solar panels are coming along. Technology's moved steadily forward in those things, as everybody knows. Tesla's brought up a ton of technology, and but this is a panel that can go on the deck. You're not just voiding a warranty, which you would do with any other solar panel you put on, and you get to keep them. They're paid for.
Yeah, we're talking with Chuck Peterson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Suncoast Roofing, suncoastroofing.com, 50-year warranty, GAF Master Elite certified contractors.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. And when you think about the solar side too, I mean, I just love this application to be able to, wean yourself off of the Ticos, the Duke Power, the energy companies that are, one thing that's for sure going to happen with them is every year the price
goes up. Right. And, in Florida, we're really, I don't say blessed, but we have in the pricing of kilowatt hours, we're in the bottom 10 states in the country as far as actual cost goes. So our power doesn't necessarily cost like if you lived in New York or California or Texas or some of those places that have huge amounts of power cost per kilowatt. So the return on investment is a little different here. It's a little longer out. So what we've devised with this group of with GAF is we've got 12 panel systems, and the way power works is you have a tier 1 power that the power companies charge us up to X amount of kilowatts an hour, and that's really pretty cheap power for as a whole. And then once you hit that number, it goes to a tier 2 cost, and that cost is almost double the tier 1 cost. So if we can get the panels to cover what you spend every month on your tier 2 power, then and those panels are paid for, your power doesn't move at all. The panels are guaranteed for 25 years, but it's not like in 25 years in one day they quit working. They just keep right on going.
Yeah. That's interesting. And you look at, so it's a graduated type scenario if I follow you.
Correct.
So
as far as how we're billed from the power companies.
Got it.
And then if you did a custom system where you said, hey, I want to be off the grid.
Yeah.
And you can panel up your whole house if the house is set that way and things work out that way. Florida has a what's called a net metering statute, which means that if we produce more power on our house, we can sell it back to the power company. They have to buy it at a set amount, and then you actually and then if you have a downtime in your power, it rains for last week, like it rained 5 days, and you're buying power, it basically cancels itself out.
Pretty much a wash.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So there's actually a statute out there that's a
that
net
allows you
statute.
it requires the power companies to buy from the homeowner the power that's not needed.
I like that.
And they put it back on the grid.
Yeah.
So it's it's good for everybody, right? Good for the homeowner, good for the climate.
Yeah.
Good for the whole deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about in the past too. You're covering almost statewide now.
Yeah.
You're pretty much everywhere in the state.
Everywhere, but probably Broward and Dade County right now.
Yeah.
We pretty much go anywhere we can go.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride, but it's a lot of traveling. However, just so you know,
a lot of traveling for you. I know.
Yes, it is.
So hopefully we have a weaker storm system this year. I've seen a couple of reports that said it might be a little bit weaker.
Yeah, they revised it and said it might come back up to a normal thing, but there's really been we've other than just the 1 day storms we've been getting, there's no storm activity at all.
Yeah,
but like our buddy Leo Cannon always says, September and October, Gulf of Mexico. So
that's when it heats up.
We'll wait and see if his his engineering comes through or not.
We'll see what happens there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so more from our expert contributors here in studio. Chuck Peterson's in the house. We got Linda Ward as well, Gulfside Healthcare Services. But next, Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. Find out some things that you may not know about the water supply and, just how polluted some of it is right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, our feel-good story of the day, man saves family of 4 from wolf attack during a camping trip. Find out right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida's #1 consumer advocate program, all about helping you understand more about your buying decisions. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your real estate wheel. All those spokes extending out, representing another one of our expert contributors, 50-plus show partners, 80 categories of expert contributor advice and commentary where we help you understand more about your buying decisions and making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you, and we want to help you win. Check out consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Whether you're planning a local move or a long-distance move across the country, Brothers Easy Moving can handle that. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, in studio today, we got a great lineup. It's expert panel lineup here. Dr. Lisa Barker in studio, Director of Medical Services, Gulfside Healthcare Services. Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, suncoastroofing.com. And currently now, let's talk to Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. So
That's me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of things happening in that water space, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with this challenge of, growing population. I think the numbers now show 1,480-something people per day moving to Florida.
Yep.
What a challenge that poses for the future.
Yeah, one of the ways they hope to handle that, and they already did get approval in Tampa Bay to start using the reclaimed water.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're on hold right now.
Yeah.
But it's inevitable that they will have to do it.
At some point, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not concerned that the water wouldn't be pure once they're done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to have more pharmaceutical drugs now than ever before.
Right.
And they can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So,
what a challenge.
Yeah.
So we talk about a lot of the things that are in the water, the drinking water, that the average citizen, the normal consumer wouldn't really understand.
Yeah.
So pharmaceuticals you already hit on. What else is out there?
Well, the big thing is chloramine that they're using. And people know about chlorine. But chloramine is actually a mixture of chlorine and ammonia.
Mm.
And it's really deadly.
Mm.
It's not good for your home because they prove it can actually make pinholes in your copper tubing.
Whoa.
So most of the homes are older in Tampa Bay. The new homes are all using PEX or CPVC, so they're safe there. But you're still dealing with it in your shower and everything else you do.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things.
That's costly. So pharmaceuticals, chloramine.
Yeah.
What else we got in there?
Lead, heavy metals.
Lead, heavy metals. Mm.
Yeah. Anytime now with all this rain, you can imagine the runoff going into the rivers.
Right.
And that's taking all the fertilizer with it and everything else.
Yeah.
So these are the things that the water companies have to deal with.
Yeah.
So you gotta realize there's about probably 7,000 miles of piping from the water company till it gets to your house sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
And it's incumbent upon the homeowner to treat the water when it comes into their home.
Yeah. It's almost, it is to that point. It's where, hey, the public utilities can do a certain amount.
Right.
Now, once the water reaches your home, that's up to you to choose for your family to have a better situation.
Yeah. And, as I've talked to people over the last decade, I find a common thread in what people are worried about. And most of them just want safe water for drinking and bathing.
Mm-hmm.
Kids like to be in the bathtub. And if you haven't treated the water for that chlorine, they're just absorbing that through their skin.
Yeah.
They want to eliminate the hard water stains that they get from the minerals in the water.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of having to deal with buying salt and lugging big bags of salt for a water softener. And they don't want to be buying bottled water anymore if they can help it.
Right.
So we provide all of that, the answers to all of those problems.
Yeah. And that microplastics, that's another big one you mentioned.
Huge.
That's another big one.
Yeah. It's in everything.
Yep.
But people buying bottled water, 90% of the bottled waters on the market
Wow.
contain microplastic particles.
Wow. 90%. Man, that's scary. Yeah, when you think about that.
You have your water bottle back there, Brandon.
Yeah, it's so convenient though. You buy the bottle, you have it with you, and, you try to refill them.
We try to recycle everything, but I'm telling you, we buy just thousands of bottles every year, and and you think about it. I'm listening to Fred every time I listen to him. I'm like, we got to get this done. Of course, well, my house is in Charlotte, so Fred can't come do that.
We give all our customers a nice glass bottle that they can drink from.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got that, and I do use it now, and I've bought one of these things, and I bring this in with me.
Yep.
Yeah. It's important.
So, excuse me. We hit on all the items that people are concerned about.
Yeah.
We're affordable. It's a system that doesn't use salt or pollute the environment, waste any water. We have great financing available. People can own the system for about $1 a day.
Wow.
And we also have rental and leasing programs now.
Wow.
So
you take a lot of the reasons of why people wouldn't do it out of the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, with financing, with the opportunity. So let's maybe explain a little bit about exactly what the system is. Let's say I said yes. Walk me through that process. What exactly happens?
Yeah, we come and we don't have salespeople, so I come personally to your home. We'll test your water. We'll make an evaluation of what you need in size, because we have sizes for every type of facility. And then basically our system will go right where the main water line comes in. Mm-hmm. If you already have a water softener, it would go right where that is. Mm-hmm. Now, the great thing about that, we're offering a $500 trade-in for your old water softener. And if you have a new home, you don't have any system right now, we're matching that with free installation.
Nice.
So we got that covered as well. We'll put in the system. We're going to be in your way for about 3 to 4 hours that day. We'll flush out your water heater. We'll flush all the water lines in your home. When we leave, you got better than drinking bottled drinking water in every faucet in your home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
See, and some of the technology behind it, without giving away your secrets, is some of it is with husk, is it?
It's coconut shell catalytic carbon. That's the only thing that's been tested to remove chloramine.
Wow.
So we got that covered. And then the second stage is what we call TAC, and that's for treating the minerals in the water so they don't leave scale deposits.
Nice.
We want to leave the good minerals in the water.
Right.
So we do that too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Yep. So we're talking with Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. Many years as a master plumber.
60 years, second generation.
Yeah. So you know a thing or two about water and piping and how to get that done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So water science.
It's my passion,
Yeah.
I like to say I've been in water all my life. If you talk to my wife, she'll tell you mostly hot water.
I'm with you.
Mostly hot water.
There with you.
That's right. Yeah. Now, how much of this comes into play in terms of the pH level? With water.
Good point. Because we have good minerals here in Tampa Bay, the pH level is really good. Mm-hmm. It's above 7.5. So when we're done, it hasn't changed that.
Right.
So the pH is good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's do a call to action here. For listeners, I'm real passionate about water. I'm real passionate about my family and the health. If you want to remove microplastics, pharmaceuticals, chloramine, lead, and heavy metals, in hard water stains, if you want to remove those from your home or business, even, pretty much any facility can utilize this. I want you to reach out. Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. He's offering a $500 trade-in as well if you have a water softener. And why don't you just text the word to us, text the word water to 813-670-7372. All you have to do is pull out your smartphone, text the word water to 813-670-7372. And we're going to put you in touch with Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. Affordable financing is available. And, get that high quality water into your home. That's something that you can definitely, you use every day.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things, too, people don't realize that your skin is actually your largest organ, right?
Right. That's right.
It's your largest organ, part of your body, and you're absorbing in, a lot of times microplastics, chloramine. Well, I don't know if microplastics can get in through the skin.
No, not so much.
But
That's mainly from drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly the chloramine and some of those other things can.
Yeah,
those can leach
absolutely.
right through the body into the skin.
Yeah, and I suggest people do their own research online. There's so many things you can find out.
Yeah.
But they're attributing lots of problems with the chloramine for your health.
Sure, I can definitely agree with that. So Fred DeFelice here in studio. Fred's our other buddy.
Yeah.
Waterscience.us. Check him out online. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're going to jump into our lightning round. Now, the lightning round is going to be fun. It's going to talk about all of our expert contributors that you heard of on the show. We're going to have some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, and we're also going to tell you something good in our feel-good story where a man saves a family of 4 from a wolf attack during a camping trip. Find out about that and more from our expert contributors right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own and operate the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and we are setting records and doing a great job for our clients, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Check out PlatinumMVPteam.com for more details, PlatinumMVPteam.com. And every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day. This is an interesting one here.
Tell me something good.
All right, so a man saves a family of 4 from a wolf attack during a camping trip, and a family in New Jersey was sleeping in their tent as they vacationed in Canada's Banff National Park when a wolf suddenly attacked. and a nearby camper ended up rushing to their side to help them. But Elisa Raposky and Matt were injured during the attack, and they shared a story on Facebook. Quote, "This is the hardest thing I've had to post since I can't fully comprehend that it happened last night. We were sleeping in our tent in Banff National Park. We were attacked by a wolf. It was something like out of a horror movie. Matt literally threw his body in front of me and the boys, fought the wolf as it ripped apart our tent and his arms and hands. We were screaming for help, and he was fighting it as he tried to save us for what felt like an eternity, but I think it was anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. Matt pinned the wolf to the ground and held his jaw open with his hands, and the wolf started to drag Matt away while I was pulling at his leg. To try to get him back. I cannot and don't think I'll ever be able to properly describe the horror. A guardian angel from a tent site next to us, who later found out his name was Russ, heard our screams, came over to the site and kicked the wolf, and finally the wolf let go of Matt's leg. They continued to throw large rocks at the wolf as he ran fast, and we could not to Rush's minivan. So the rest of the night, blur of EMTs, Good Samaritans, waiting for treatment, no phone service, and crying. They were in the Banff hospital. We were pretty traumatized, but okay. It could have been so much worse. Matt is our absolute hero. I mean, way more than a normal was. And Russ came to his aid, was a life-saving Good Samaritan. So those interesting story, man. That's crazy. Yeah. They might need some home health care. Yeah. You know, they might need a little wound care.
Need some health care for sure.
Yeah, they're going to need some follow-up on that one. All right, let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning.
All right, here we go. So top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, Dr. Lisa Barker.
I'd like to say that if you are a patient that's facing a serious illness, or a friend or loved one of someone who is facing a serious illness, be an informed consumer. Reach out to us. We have a wonderful website, gulfside.org. There's contact information there. Our patient access department can help you with determining what your needs are and if one of our 3 service lines would be helpful. And again, like I said, be an informed consumer. Don't listen to the myths that are out there about the type of care that we provide, particularly in hospice care. Learn the facts from the experts.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Gulfside Healthcare Services, hospice, palliative care, home health. Dr. Lisa Barker on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Chuck Peterson, top tips.
Yeah, we'll go to the one we usually do is, again, be an informed consumer, right? Mm-hmm. So if you are signing a contract with any contractor, not just us, but anybody else in a construction type thing, make sure you do your homework. Make sure they're actually licensed to do the work. Don't give them 50% down payment. Don't give your money away. Check on things. Make sure people are getting permits, doing the right stuff. I mean, you have to be accountable for a little bit of, work on your side as a consumer. So make sure you're getting somebody professional and do what they say they'll do, licensed.
Don't make it easy for the crooks. They come out and they look like they're doing something good. I remember the story last year. You said he came out and put five blue tarps on the roofs, and was this good guy.
Yeah, they put $5,000 down a piece and left, never saw them again. Yeah. We ended up coming back in, having to do all the work, and they already paid out money, and you just feel terrible.
Wow, and I've heard stories too. You guys will actually do some of that stuff pro bono and try to help people out when you can.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us.
I think the big thing is, the water treatment industry. Somebody's going to come to your home and take about 2 to 3 hours of your time and kind of pressure you into buying their equipment. We don't do that. When we come, we're about 20 minutes tops, test your water and show you what we can do for you.
Yeah.
And then you make a decision the next day.
Yeah.
Just don't make that problem for yourself. And then I want to leave you with this thought. Teacher appreciation this week coming up. Right? So if you can read, thank a teacher. If you can read in English, thank a veteran.
Yeah.
And if you have an indoor toilet, thank a plumber.
There you go. I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred. 60-year master plumber. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I've also heard, if your child's giving you a hard time about teaching them or helping them with the computer, remind them that you taught them how to use a spoon. Taught you how to use a spoon. I've used that one before.
Yeah.
So let's. I want to go back to Dr. Lisa Barker here, Gulfside Healthcare Services. One of our newer expert contributors on the show. As we mentioned, we've had Linda Ward on the show as well. Gulfside Healthcare Services. the parting words are great. I love that idea of what you mentioned there, but I think there's so many misconceptions around this home health care. I think we still had a couple to cover, but patients can still use their primary care physician. The cost, I think that might be a big one as well.
Cost. When you're talking about palliative care, and we do have an outpatient palliative care clinic that we operate in Pasco County, and we have patients that are from outside of Pasco County that do travel to our clinic. But your palliative care is covered just the same as any other physician that you see. Okay. So the same as going to the cardiologist, and if it's Medicare, it's a Medicare Part B coverage, where hospice care is covered under Medicare Part A. And of course, other commercial insurances also have a hospice benefit. But in general, hospice care is anything that is within the hospice plan of care for any illnesses that are contributing to the patient's terminal state is 100% covered by the hospice. Okay. So that is something that people often are concerned about. How can they pay for the home health aide that comes out to help with bathing because they can't afford private duty? Well, the hospice provides that for them at a reasonable frequency that can be accommodated.
Yeah. And that's good. And hospice is a philosophy of care, not a place.
Correct.
It's not a physical place. It's actually just a philosophy, a style.
Right. Hospice care is palliative in nature. So all hospice care is palliative, but not all palliative care is hospice. So we make a differentiation between our patients who are receiving palliative care that may not have that life expectancy of 6 months at that point in time, but still have a serious illness that they're dealing with, both the physical and the psychological and social aspects of.
Yeah, I like that. We should have you guys at our event coming up for the veterans. The veterans and heroes, first responders, EMS, teachers. We're kind of widening that umbrella as we go here. Seniors as well. It's a veterans event, veterans and heroes event coming up on September 12th. That's a Thursday, September 12th, 6 to 9 p.m. at the American Legion Post 5. It's Post 5 on Kennedy Boulevard, centrally located right here in pretty much the heart of Tampa, Del Mabry Kennedy intersection right there in South Tampa. But I think there's going to be a lot of people there that could utilize some of these services and more information about this, especially, as Fred mentioned, our veterans, thanking the veterans. Captain Matt Bruce is a celebrity here in the Tampa Bay market. He's syndicated in 180 markets nationwide. He's going to be there. Attorney Joe Pippin's got the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. I think he's been on the radio for 26 something years. So we're going to have a wealth of knowledge and information in there, and I think it would be great for you and Linda to come and kind of maybe see where you can fit in and help out.
Thank you. We also have a special program within our hospice to honor our veterans. Oh, cool. And we offer special pinnings for our veterans, give them a certificate, special recognition, and things like that. And nice. Gulfside participates in there's a national We Honor Veterans program that's in the hospice and palliative care arena. And we participate in that and are currently at the highest level of recognition in that program that you can achieve.
Very cool. Yeah, that's great. Anything we can do for our veterans. One of the things we do with our real estate team, our Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, is we offer a 1/4 to 1/2 point discount back to the veteran. So whether they're buying or selling, we're going to give them money back at closing. It's our real estate commission. We can do what we want with it. So it's hey, let's give it back to our veterans when there is an opportunity for that. So we love to help the veterans, the first responders. The government gets a lot of things wrong, with a 10 to 12% approval rating. But one of the things they did get right is the financing that's allotted for the veterans as well. They have 100% financing options available. And there's a lot of misconceptions, when Lisa, when you mention, Medicare, this part, that part, even as a show host talking about this stuff on the air from time to time, it's still confusing for me, so I can imagine a veteran that's, got these stories that he remembers, these flashback, maybe some post-traumatic stress disorder, some of these things. How do they navigate these waters? So that's a concern I have, and that's why we set this event up. So September 12th, 6 to 9 p.m. It's online at Facebook. If you just search on Facebook, Veterans and Heroes, or go to Eventbrite, search Veterans and Heroes. It's online as well. It's our event that we're putting on. Catered food from Amici's Catered Cuisine. That's always a good reason to show up. Excellent food.
Yes, it is.
They do a great job, right? You've been to a few of our events.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. So that's going to be a good time. And make sure you bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. Follow the show online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. You got a Facebook page out there as well. Link up on LinkedIn. You know, there's always a way we can connect on LinkedIn. And remember, about a week and a half, we're going to be on a different channel on 860, The Answer, coming up. Just about a week and a half, we're going to be converting over to this station at the 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860, The Answer. Really excited about that move. Very large audience there, and we are excited about that. So, thanks so much to all of our expert contributors, our team behind the scenes putting it all together. We got a great team around here. We got Jose back there, James, Dimitri, Rob to my left, John from WeBeam TV has been a show contributor for a long time, helping us out with the putting together the TV show side. By the way, you find us on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and about 85 other smart television outlets just by searching Binge Networks. Just search up Binge Networks on your home television, and you'll find our show. And of course, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all over social media, and a lot of great content out there. So, pretty much anything you need, we've had it on the show, or we have a connection to those folks that can help you. So check out consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Big.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.